Hey everybody, if you're a restaurant or hotel business, you know how crucial it is to manage costs without sacrificing quality. That's where FoodBuy, the largest GPO in the industry, comes in. With FoodBuy, you gain access to exclusive pricing, unmatched buying power, and a vast network of trusted suppliers, all designed to help you save time and money. Whether you're running a high-end hotel or a bustling restaurant, FoodBuy is your one-stop partner to streamline purchasing and get the best deals. Want to see how they're changing the game? Visit foodbuy.com today and take your supply chain to the next level. That's foodbuy.com, making smarter purchasing easier than ever.
Here we go, Jimbo. Live from Pepsi Studios in New York City. It's the Hospitality Hangout Podcast with the restaurant guy and the finance guy. Everything is better with Pepsi.
Oh, we're going to talk about how many different things are better with Pepsi. But first, I'd like to welcome you more formally to our podcast, the Hospitality Hangout, a podcast where the founders of Branded Hospitality bring insights and technology leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the finance guy. I'd like to introduce my partner, Mr. Michael Schatzberg, also known as the restaurant guy.
And thank you for that kind intro, Jimmy. And to all those listening, feel free to call me Shatsy. And we are together. We are the personalities. The founders, the personalities behind Branded Hospitality.
That's right.
Jimbo, we're at the intersection of pretty much everything. It's restaurants, it's hospitality, it's capital, it's technology, it's sandwiches, it's you name it, and we are at the intersection of it. We really are.
As long as there's F&B involved.
But I got to tell you, Jimmy, there's something more important I want to talk to you about it.
Please do.
Aside from me getting over the, I like to call it the summer flu.
Summer flu.
COVID was bad memories. I don't like to say COVID. The summer flu. Just getting over that. I got my cough drops here. I'm feeling a little better, but it was a week. It was a tough struggle. But you know what got me through it, Jimbo? You know what got me through it?
Please tell us.
I know people are going to say, Shat, you shouldn't be doing that. Starry Zero. Okay, I'm drinking Starry Zero with Casamigos. Let me tell you. It kept everything.
Are you a silver starry or a gold star? That's what I like to call it. It's like the brand. It's personalized ranch water.
Oh yeah, I drink my ranch water.
I think silver starry. Like what ranch water? Silver starry.
I'll do a little Casamigos and Starry. I got to tell you, it is so delicious. It made my chest feel better, and I would just go to sleep.
You know who wants to say thank you?
After like 12.
You know who wants to say thank you to you?
Who?
Mr. George Clooney. Because I think if you're talking about Casamiga with Starry, I think that Casamiga might become something.
Hey, Jimbo, we had an amazing guest, an amazing show. You want to kick us off?
I do. We are very excited for today's episode. Joining us today is our friend, Mr. Chris Tomasso, President and CEO of First Watch Restaurants. And we're going to have a good time. This company is just growing. First of all, they're doing great things, growing exponentially. I mean, this is a big deal to have Mr. Tomasso on our show.
Jimbo, what we're paying guests, it's no wonder we get incredible guests.
You know what? We can't pay them what they deserve. We also can't pay them. But
it's big. It's big money.
Big money.
You ask Chris. I'll tell you it's big.
Right, listen, before we get started, I promise you, Chris really is here, and we will let him join the show. But as you know, as our listeners know, we release our podcast on Tuesdays. So we adopted Taco Tuesday, just changed it to Trivia Tuesday.
I love tacos.
I'm going to give you 3 factoids about our friend Chris. 2 are true. 1 is less than true, also knows a lie. And I want not to front run. These might be 3 of the best factoids. And Shats, I got to tell you,
I'm not killing it. Nobody better than Shats.
You better be ready to play because I'm telling you, these are 3 great factoids. Remember, 2 true, 2 truths, 1 not true. Stick around to the end of the episode. We'll let Shatsy will guess, and Chris will tell us where he was fibbing. All right, fact 1. Chris once appeared in People Magazine's 50 Most Beautiful People issue.
Jimmy, I'm looking at Chris right now. You don't even have to tell me. Of course that's true. The guy is absolutely gorgeous.
Fact 2. Chris once gave away the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour bus.
He raffled it off?
I didn't say that. I said he once gave it away.
It says raffled
he
off.
He once gave away. That's right. Words matter.
So what, my thing is different?
Words matter. Fact 3.
That makes no sense.
Fact 3. Chris was once the master of ceremony at the New York City, New Year's Eve, Times Square ball drop, and officially press the button to start the ball drop. Those are 3 quality factoids.
I got to tell you, I think I know what it is, but it's like you don't want to say that he wasn't one of the most beautiful people. That'd be terrible. Like if you said that wasn't true, then you're implying like he's one of the ugliest people.
I think you took that in a direction I wouldn't have gone, but hey, you know, it's not for me to guess, it's for you to guess.
I think I have it. I think I have it.
All right, remember everyone, stick around to the end of the episode, and we'll have Shatsy guess, and Chris will tell us the truth and which one is the lie.
All right, listen, Jimbo, you know we've got a lot of great guests on the show over the years. It's been, I don't know, 200 and something episodes.
Over 300.
300 episodes?
300. Yep.
Feels like yesterday.
Feels like yesterday.
Feels like yesterday. I got to tell you, over 300 episodes. But you know we always like to dig in, find out how did Chris become
El Jefe.
President
and CEO.
At First Watch? How do you become of like the fastest growing restaurant group in the world? How does one? Well, first of all, like so many of our guests, Jimbo, where do you start?
Start working in the restaurants, probably as a dishwasher.
Uncle's Pizza.
There you go.
Pizza, age 15 as a dishwasher.
I'm telling you, dishwasher is the CEO like no other industry I've ever seen. The dishwasher.
I think 80% of our guests that are all CEOs now,
dishwasher.
Dishwashers, prep cook, pizza maker, Uncle's Pizza, which, I got to tell you, delicious pizza. I have no idea what Uncle's Pizza is, but I heard very good things about Uncle's Pizza. Then he went to an Amish restaurant, a little interesting. It wasn't, he was figuring it out. He was young. And he's like, you know what, pizza, I like Amish. I didn't know what Amish restaurants are. What's Amish food? What is that?
I'm gonna. By the way, I think it's very hearty, healthy, and farm.
But it's in Sarasota.
One of the OGs of farm.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. But he went to the University of Central Florida, and that's where things started happening for Chris, because he was studying journalism and advertising and public relations, and he really enjoyed it. He enjoyed it a lot, you know. And he said, I like pizza, I like Amish food, I like journalism.
Then what happens?
He went to go work for the Orlando Magic because he likes basketball also, you know?
Oh, he's a tall drink of water.
He is. He's very tall and good looking. So he goes over there. He's doing some PR mark, goes to Curly and Pin PR and mark. I have no idea what that is, but apparently they do some really amazing stuff. Hard Rock Café in 2003. Goes over to Cracker Barrel Marketing in 06. And then he's at First Watch, okay? In 2006, Chief Marketing Officer. He had 55 restaurants when he takes over as CMO, okay? His first initiative, he comes up with some really great marketing ideas. They grew, and it was all him, I'm telling you. They grew from 55 restaurants to 500 restaurants, okay? Eventually, they're like, this guy's got to become the president. I mean, he can't just be the marketing guy. He becomes the president, okay, of First Watch. And let me tell you something. Let me give you right now the introduction right now. Here he is, the man of the hour, Chris Tomasso, CEO, president, chairman of the board of First Watch Restaurants. How much did we get right, Chris?
How much chance to get right, Chris?
The Amish restaurant I'm still concerned about.
I have lots of explaining to do.
Lots of explaining to like, what's that, Ricky?
Lucy, we got some explaining.
We got some explaining.
Welcome to the show.
Super excited to have you here.
Oh, thanks for having me. Thanks for the very entertaining intro. I appreciate
Quite a
that.
journey from dishwasher to now the CEO. But I must say, as Jimmy and I were saying, literally, in the 300 episodes we've had, I don't know how many CEOs we've had, but it's been almost all CEOs of some of the best brands out there. And almost everyone has started as a dishwasher or a prep cook or a line cook or a bartender, you know? So, Uncle's Pizza, tell us. So talk to me about that. And I know there's a story, you burnt your eyebrows off and so you'd think you burn your eyebrows off while at 15 years old, you'd figure the last place you'd ever end up is food service. You'd run away from there. You'd become a doctor or a lawyer, make your mom proud. What happened?
Yeah, first of all, isn't that the beauty of our industry, right? That there's so many stories like that. We recently found out that the CEO of McDonald's, when he was a teenager, worked at First Watch as a busboy. He said that in a podcast that he was on. So, it's great that our industry can.
Julie, make a note of that. We have to have that story on the podcast.
It was my uncle's pizza restaurant. It was called Mama's Italian Restaurant.
It wasn't Uncle's Pizza. It was your uncle's pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
It was. Yeah. So what was your uncle's name?
Uncle Louie. Of
course it
Uncle
is.
Louie Battaglia.
Uncle Louie Battaglia. And what was the name of the restaurant?
Mama's Italian Restaurant.
Mama's Italian.
Yeah.
Wait, where was that located?
In Sarasota. Yeah, little strip center.
I love it. In Sarasota, there's where the Amish thing came in.
Yeah, so I definitely want to give some context to that.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so it just started there, as a way to make money. I'm not saying it was or wasn't under the table. I'm just saying that it was a great place to make money.
Well, I think the statute of limitations with respect to the IRS, I think we've passed
We're all
that.
good. We're all good.
I think it's okay.
I think we're good.
Chance and I were waiters and bartenders too.
Uncle Louie was not paying you W-2. Uncle Louie's like, listen, you want to work for me? You're getting cash and don't tell your mother.
Exactly. That's how it was. And so, just started dishwashing to make money and then got to prep cooking and just dreamed of working the pizza oven, which was in the dining room where I actually got to see people and had my first opportunity to do that on a Friday night. And if anybody who's worked pizza ovens know, they're deep and long and you're working the pizzas with the pizza peel. And I leaned in a little too far one time.
The big thing, paddle.
The pizza peel. It's called a pizza peel.
The pizza peel. I love that. I've always wanted to use a pizza peel.
You can get them on Amazon now. Everybody.
Yeah, but I don't have a
can get
pizza
one for your
oven.
house.
I mean, what am I going to do with that
next.
thing? Just
That'll
flip
be
hamburgers on my grill?
Let Chris continue to use the pizza peel.
Yeah, so you got like 10, 12 pizzas in there all the time. You're constantly rotating them, making sure they get done to perfection so Uncle Louie doesn't slap you. And I leaned in and I saw some things, kind of, just cascading in front of my eyes. I figured it was stuff from the top of the oven. And I come out and I turn around and I look at Uncle Louie and he said, "What the hell did you do? Your eyebrows are gone." And that's when I realized I leaned too far into the pizza oven and it singed my eyebrows in front of my face. So
they came back. I got to tell you, they look better than ever. They say if you burn your eyebrows, they come back even better. So
they're much thicker now.
Kids at home listening, they don't say that.
Why was saying women out there listening? Maybe you should go burn your eyebrows. They'll come back all bushy and stuff. I mean, don't you want bushy eyebrows? Or you don't want bushy eyebrows.
So that was never that was just a job for me, as most people who start in our industry do. I wasn't planning on a career in restaurants. And then we have a big Amish community here in Sarasota. There's actually a couple of restaurants, and they're actually pretty well known, and they're high volume, big restaurants. And just started working there as well as a way to make money. It was near my school. Because I knew that if I wanted to drive at 16, I'd have to buy my own car at 15, which means I had to start working at 14, which I did. And so
Uncle Louie, man, he was hard on you, huh?
He was. It was good though. It was good.
Is Uncle Louie still with us?
He is. He is.
Thank God.
Yeah, he's.
We got to get Uncle Louie on the podcast. We got to talk to him about you.
Uncle Louie's gonna listen to this.
We got to get Uncle Louie on and talk to him what kind of worker he was, right?
You'd have to explain to him what a podcast is first of all, but that's all right. Yeah.
So listen, Chris, I want to move forward a little bit. You, as Schatz introduced so eloquently, you've worked with some iconic brands. I mean, Hard Rock Cafe, Cracker Barrel. And there's a statistic that says 50% of restaurant goers are influenced by a restaurant's marketing efforts. And both those brands clearly had tremendous marketing campaigns, teams, and otherwise. As a former CMO, and Brandon's been talking about this for a while.
Wait, are you the former CMO?
No, I
thought you were saying that you were a former CMO.
What I was going to say is I believe in this more and more, we're seeing the CMOs, the people that are very focused on the right side of the brain, that creative side, are the ones that are being tapped and elevated to the CEO position. So as a former CMO yourself, how do you think your marketing background has influenced your approach as a CEO?
That's a great question, and I'm really happy to see more and more presidents and CEOs come up through marketing. And I think the main benefit to that is that role typically brings the voice of the consumer with them. And so, as you all know, you've been in this industry for a long time. The career path to CEO typically came from either operations or finance.
Yes.
And two very important functions within an organization. But I think over time, companies and investors and private equity firms started to realize that there is a value to the brand side of it, that if given the opportunity at the highest level to have that perspective infused into the organization, that there is a real value to that. Sometimes it's only realized on an exit. Sometimes it's realized in in same-store sales and traffic. It really depends. But, we have great subject matter experts that lead all of those functions for us here. And what I'll say is even in our culinary, which we're kind of known for, we intentionally let the culinary team drive the innovation. And I don't say we exclude operations and finance, but we don't bring them in till later because we don't
you can
want,
say it.
we don't
You
want
exclude
that. Yeah.
operations and finance. You can say it. Say it. Just say it. You are
we
the marketing guy, and you
pause
basically
their
exclude
involvement.
all the finance people from your decision. You have a fake meeting with the finance people. You're like, oh, we really appreciate what you say. All right, listen, guys, let's not listen to what those guys say. You can say it. I agree. Jimmy's a finance guy. We never listen to him.
Meetings.
We never listen to him.
Actually, Chris, I know you didn't say that. So to the First Watch finance and ops team, Chris
he was
did not
thinking, Jimmy.
Chris
That's
did
what
not
he
say
thinks.
that. But I will say, part of Brandon's thesis, similarly, is we really want Shatsy and our restaurant team, our restaurant operators, our SMEs in that space, really the ones that sit at the top of the funnel. They're the ones, I love how that was podcast gold about the CMO is really representing the guest and the voice of the guest. And I think a lot of other investors in this space probably make mistakes or maybe want to rethink relying on the finance people. No disrespect, I'm a finance guy, but I'm not the one that's in the stores. I'm not the one that's been back in the kitchen. I'm not the one that's dealing with the guests and seeing what really makes, what impacts, what gets butts in seats, what creates better, efficiencies and loyalty. That's why I love leaning on the SMEs. And I think to your point, the CMO, voice of the guest, I think that creative side is really starting to be recognized by investors.
Jimbo.
Into that seat, into the president and CEO role.
I did a poll myself, Jimmy. I did a survey.
Yeah.
And of 1,000 people I surveyed,
yes,
over 1,000
yes,
CMOs have become CEOs. It's 110%. Yes, I did that poll, and that's statistically accurate.
Yeah, then again, Chris, I also asked Shats to leave the numbers to me. Creative side to him, numbers
sounds
to
like
me.
a great
110% of CMOs have become CEOs now, Jim.
Yeah, we want that kind of effort. I don't want that in the math. I don't want that.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Let me throw this
Speaking
out
of
to you
marketing
guys.
and great marketing ideas and great market, tell us about the Times Square. I mean, this is going back to the truth and a lie. What do you want from me? It's one of the questions. I mean, it's there. You own Times Square for New Year's Eve. How did you own Times Square? Was that with Hard Rock Café? Tell us about that story and how that campaign went about.
Yeah, it was. We wanted to own Times Square for Y2K. If you remember all the buzz leading up to Y2K and all the eyes were going to be on Times Square when the ball dropped. And so,
but you didn't have a Hard Rock in Times Square at that time, right?
No, not in Times Square,
still
but
on
in New York for sure.
Like
Yeah,
57th Street or something
Yep.
like that, right?
Yeah, we were
okay.
on West 57th.
Right.
So yeah, in order to own Y2K, you had to commit to 2 years of just all of the assets that it was
all the billboards and everything like that.
Yeah, right. So
that'd be
decided
pretty
to do
expensive.
It. Very expensive. We went all in, is what I would tell you. And everywhere around us, there were cab toppers and bus stop signs and full billboards and all those things. And we owned it. And it was a really interesting campaign. It had some humor in it. And the story here is that one of the cab toppers had the Hard Rock logo and it said, "Proud to feature fried items, onion rings, chicken tenders, and Keith Richards." And
so is that how you got in a fight with Keith Richards?
It is actually.
So tell us about you and the Stones and Keith Richards getting in a fight.
Yeah, so he went to get in a cab in New York, and his name on top of the cab caught his eye, and he read it and wasn't too happy, and we got a letter, and so we worked with Keith and his team, and had hoped that he would take it. We made a donation to a charity that's important to him.
Was that the Keith Richards Foundation?
No, I don't remember what the charity was at the time, but yeah, it ended up getting a little publicity. So, but it ended up working out great for us.
So that's great. So you got the Times Square, then you get this whole Michigas with Keith Richards, created more buzz, and you even think about it. So you really got bang for your buck.
Yeah, we did.
So after that whole thing, is that when First Watch caught their eye on you?
No,
they're like, who's this guy?
Not yet, because I was at Hard Rock for 6 years, but you mentioned Curly and Pin Public Relations. So that was a boutique PR firm in Orlando that actually represented Hard Rock Café International and Universal Studios. So big clients, but kind of an unknown under the radar firm.
I've heard of them. I was just kidding before. I've heard of them.
Yeah.
I love those. I love those guys.
So I was at Curly and Pin, and then Hard Rock brought me in house, and then I got a call from an executive recruiter one day at Cracker Barrel was looking for somebody who had both restaurant and retail experience. And as you guys know, Hard Rock's about 50% retail, their sales.
Sure.
And Cracker Barrel at the time
everybody
was
had a Hard Rock shirt when I was younger. Right? Hard Rock, every city you collected them. Cancun was the big one, right, Jimmy?
I got one.
Hard Rock Cancun, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I was 33 years old, and Cracker Barrel, could go to a $2.5 billion publicly traded company and lead their marketing efforts. And
that's a big deal for a 33-year-old guy, huh?
Yeah, it was.
What kind of money were they paying? Tell us, Chris. What were they paying when you were 33? Tell us.
By that lead the numbers today, and I'm not going to ask Chris.
Why? It was a while ago. I don't care. But he was 33 years old. They over a big job. And what was the bump that you got from the Curly and Pincus, Mark, whatever, to lure you away? I mean, they had to give you, was it a car? What'd they give you?
It was significant. That's all I'll say.
That's all you're going to say.
They treated it well.
Yes,
all right.
It was. And we were at a time, my wife and I, our kids were young, not in school yet. So
you were married already?
We're going to do something. I was, yeah.
Okay.
And it was, I had just come back from Rome. I used to travel all over the world for Hard Rock. And I flew to Rome for a 1.5-hour meeting, turned around and flew back. And I said, what am I doing? This is crazy. And we just had kids. And I'm like, I'm not going to see my kids if I keep doing this job. And I loved it when I was younger. I had that job from 25 to whatever, 32.
You were so old at 33.
Yeah.
You were so old. How do you feel now?
I was going to the next stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a big challenge for me to go take that job, and I did. And then 3 years into it, there was a kind of a leadership coup where the chairman of the board ousted the founder and the two guys that hired me that I really respected. And so same thing. A private equity firm had just invested in First Watch when they had 42 restaurants. And I was at Hard Rock during their high growth years and Cracker Barrel during their high growth years. And they knew they had something special in First Watch and wanted to see if I could bring that growth mentality here. And so
I really
did?
Got to know. You did
What's
it.
That?
You did it.
Yeah. A lot of us put
it's you. Stop giving everyone else credit. Enough of this. It's you. Nobody else. Stop it.
The founder.
I will not hear you giving credit to anyone else.
By the way, I just got a little note. Shatsy, I think that was the first time that Keith Richards' name has ever been in the same sentence as the word Michigas. I just got a note.
Oh, really?
That Keith Richards' name has never been in the same sentence with Michigas.
Get out of here. The Rolling Stones?
But Keith Michigas.
So you think Mick Jagger knows Michigas?
Yes, but I'm just saying first time in the same sentence. Listen, I want to shift gears from marketing to tech. When we started Branded, we looked at our own restaurants and our own internal tech stack, and our first investments were really technology products, SaaS and other vendors that our employees told us once they had it, if we took it away, they'd quit. Like some of them, just like, I remember dealing with tablet hell, and Shatsy brought Chowly into the mix, online food integration, and it was so loved that one of our managers said, "You get rid of this software, and I'm quitting."
I love you dropping portfolio companies into the podcast.
Portfolio companies?
I love
Are
it.
they?
Really? Why not?
Listen, I think I understand you had a similar experience when you first implemented your KDS system. Can you share with us, what was that hug or that validation that you got from you and your team, balancing and incorporating new tech, but you also want to maintain the human touch and kind of balance, that's so crucial hospitality. You want to leverage tech, but you still have to maintain the human touch. Can you share a little about that for us?
Yeah, I think for us, we've always been a not so fast follower, and a lot of that honestly had to do with we were very successful for many years, and so it was kind of a if it's not broke, don't fix it thing. But
100%. I think Jimmy coined that phrase, by the way, if I'm not mistaken.
I get royalties.
I did. Yeah. I looked it up. He did.
He gets another nickel right now. Thank you.
So we looked at that, but as we got bigger and our volumes started to go up. Keep in mind, when I started, our average unit volumes were 1.2 million, and now we're projected 2.6.
2.6. Is that breaking news?
No,
we report
it's not
that?
breaking news.
I think you just did report it.
So wait a minute. So you take over as CMO.
No.
With
Stop doing
55
that.
stores, they're doing
Stop
about $1
doing
million.
that.
They're breaking even, maybe even losing money. You put a KDS in.
No.
500 stores, $2.6 million. This man, I got to tell you.
Shatsy, we want Chris to go back to work with his team and be welcomed. Like,
We got to get rid of that. Who's that guy they just hired at Starbucks? We got to get Chris over there.
These are publicly traded companies, Shatsy. Be careful.
What is that? I don't understand. I'm like, they should be wanting this guy.
Chris, continue, please.
Continue. I'm just so blown away that your insight has doubled, almost tripled volume. Man, it was a genius.
Over 18 years, that volume has gone up a little bit every year.
Let's leave that out of the story. Let's leave that out of the story.
Yeah.
He's pacing himself.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, we continue to grow. We were doing well, as you all mentioned. We have been the fastest growing full service restaurant company the last 3 years. Our volumes were going up. Our customer counts were increasing every year. So implementing tech was something we gave a lot of thought to. We knew we didn't want to be on the front edge, the bleeding edge, whatever you want to call that, of that. And so, and I'll give you an example. Pay at the table. We recently launched that about 6 months ago. And I think by us kind of being a little bit late stage follower, we skipped over the apparatus that sits on the table and went right to what everybody's using to do things now that they have in their pocket already. Right.
Yep.
So things like that. And the KDS,
that was an iPhone that Chris held up for all you listeners out there.
Yes.
Just want to make sure.
Not the new one. But yeah, so when we roll out tech like that, it's not to be on the forefront. It's really to make sure that the customer experience, the employee experience is more seamless. And we're probably one of the last ones to implement KDS. We were writing off of handwritten checks 2.5 years ago. So,
I love it.
But when we did what we call an everybody out of the pool meeting, where we look and we say, okay, how do we get our volumes at that time from 2 million to 2.4, and we find things like that, and then you start to implement them the right way. So between that, pay at the table, the online scheduling, and the online waitlist management, that was something that we were very early on, because we don't take reservations, but we can have very long waits. We were one of the first national concepts to have the online waitlist management.
And I love the everyone out of the pool meeting. I've never heard that before. When you get everyone out of the pool, what is everyone just get out of the pool and go onto Zoom?
It's everyone out of the pool. That means just stop what you're doing. We're going to have a big conversation here, and there's nothing off limits. And I don't care what we've said in the past. Us serving alcohol is an everybody out of the pool moment. We had just like 3 years before we started serving, we laid out all our brand truths, and one of them was that we weren't ever going to serve alcohol. Well, we're not so rigid that we can't look and see what the consumer, how it's trending, where they're going. And we want to be around for 40 more years. So what do we need to do to engage that next generation of customers?
Will you continue operating in the 40 more years?
Will we?
Will you?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Boy, that'd be tough. I'd be pretty old.
Listen, I got to tell you, you're growing really rapidly. I kid, but the success you've had is really unbelievable. And you're growing, like you said, just at an alarming rate. Not alarming rate, at an incredible rate, I should say. It's really a fabulous. What's the secret sauce for maintaining as you grow? Because I think when you grow, especially in restaurants, consistency becomes really challenging. It's everyone loves the first watch experience. Now you start growing and adding these locations. How do you keep the consistency? How do you keep your employees engaged and happy? Because of all the people that helped you get to this, to 100 stores or 200 stores, start leaving and going to other places, it's hard to keep growing. It's hard to keep the consistency. What do you guys do? Like, what's your secret sauce over there? And it's just between me and Jimmy. No one else listens to this podcast. So you can give us any trade secrets you want.
I wish it were. Well, I don't wish it were one thing. It's not one thing. So, for example, we have tremendous tenure and very low turnover. A lot of that has to do with our daytime only hours, right? Our employees get to be home by 4:30 every day and have dinner with their families. But
are you guys hiring right now?
Yeah, we are.
I gotta get an
We're
application.
always hiring. We're growing so
I just
fast.
love the way that sounds. What time you got to be in the morning?
6.
6 and you're out by 4?
Yeah.
That's why he looks so freaking good, Jimmy. Look at the guy. Early bird. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I got to start working at First Watch.
That's a big piece of it, right? And so with our tenure, the tenure, The average tenure of our general manager is 5.5 years. Our directors of operations, which is, as you all know, is the next level up,
right,
over 10 years. And then you get to our VP and RVPs in operations, and it goes to over 15 years. So, look, we know how difficult our industry is, right? And, work until 2 a.m. and whatnot. And we get a lot of people who get to that stage in life, kind of like, I did when I said I couldn't be doing those trips anymore, where they really value their time with their families and things like that. And we're a great place to do it. They make a great living, and they get a life balance, a work-life balance that's almost unmatched in our industry. So that's how we keep our employees happy. We're constantly talking to them through our Y Tour, which stands for We Hear You, where we get on calls, literally thousands of hours with myself, our COO, and our Chief People Officer, talking to hourly employees on a Zoom, asking them what they love, what they don't love, what could we do better, those type of things. And then people like to be part of growth, and we're one of the few restaurant companies that are growing.
I love it, man.
We attract great people.
It obviously it shows. All right, listen, we got to jump into a real quick segment here. Chris, are you ready to play the famous segment called Hot or Not?
I'm as ready as I will ever be. Let's put it that way.
Doesn't sound that excited about it, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to love this, Chris. We're going to get you so excited about this, okay? Hot or not? I'm going to throw out a couple of questions, a couple of lines, a couple of things here, and you tell me hot or not.
Okay.
Breakfast for dinner, hot or not?
Hot at home.
TikTok marketing, hot or not?
Hot.
Food halls, hot or not?
Not.
I thought about that one a lot, Jimmy.
Yeah, I like them all. And I have to tell you, I have a young daughter, and breakfast for dinner at home.
Oh, wait, there was one more. Sorry, it was on another page.
Oh.
Craft cocktails, hot or not?
Hot.
All right, so you got another one there, Jimmy. Craft cocktails are hot.
Cocktails are hot.
Does that change your?
Well, I was only going to say breakfast at home for dinner is a big deal. If my daughter gets breakfast at home, she's turning 8. That is like a big moment. And I think on TikTok you went hot, but then there was which one was the not? You thought about it for a moment. The food halls. Yes, thank you. I was going to ask you.
Craft cocktails are hot.
But I want to expand upon, or ask you maybe for you to expand upon the food halls and the not. I have a few thoughts. I even could speculate or project what I think you might say, but I don't have to do that because you're here. So that one, you paused, you thought, and then you went with a not. Can you expand on that a little bit? Because there are some companies clearly launching these for reasons that obviously free markets, do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But you went not. Why was that?
Well, first, let me say I wanted to make sure that I complied with the rules of the questions, which was a one-word answer. So,
yes,
but it does require some explanation.
This is the kind of people we have to have.
Yes, I could learn from that.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Jim
yes.
You ask him one thing, he talks for a half hour. You ask him one thing. Thank you, Chris. Go on, please.
So, what I would say is probably exactly what you were alluding to, Jimmy, that there's some companies that do it really, really well. But I think when you look at the universe of all of them, I think it's more difficult than most people understand to operate one of those, and the relationships between the food hall operator and the actual restaurants and those type of things. So what I'm saying is I think there's too many of them in the universe that just don't really know how to execute those really well. But then you've got some incredible ones. And what are they? They're the well-seasoned, experienced operators who have this great idea to bring multiple concepts together. And, some of the ones in Nashville and Dallas and, that the front burner guys, there's some great ones
front
out
burner
there.
does that stuff. When I was growing up, we didn't call them food halls. We called them food courts, and they were in the mall.
Yeah.
I think that they just kind of renamed it, rebranded. Food court didn't sound good. Food hall sounds better.
The reason why I was projecting or speculating you might be the answer is not so hot was simply I feel like First Watch, you guys stand for something. The guests, they come in, they're thinking about this experience they're going to have as a family, as a group, and there's a togetherness. And again, I absolutely know there's some tremendous operators of food halls, and those are not going away. But I really do feel it's a different experience, somewhat disjointed. It's hard to be great at everything. And I feel also when you enter those places, it's often disparate. Versus when you come into a restaurant like First Watch, there's this, everyone's going to come to the table and they're going to order off the same menu and have this experience together. And I kind of thought that's certainly from the CEO of First Watch, why you might say maybe it's less than hot. Listen, Chris, I want to move into talking back.
I think, Jimmy, we're running low on time.
Yes,
because it's almost the top of the hour, so we got to jump right into the prices. The Price is Right, Jim.
Spice is Right.
Then we got to jump in right into the Spice is Right.
Okay, spice it up.
But first, I got to put a little list. This is the 2024 version. This is like the disco version of The Price is Right.
I'm on the Love Boat.
Does sound a little Love Boat. Yeah, I think I got to get the old version back. All right, we're going to The Spice is Right. Chris, are you ready? You crushed it on Hot or Not. We're going Price is Right. I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to show you or share with you a Sbarro pizza bundle deal. Okay? A Sbarro pizza bundle deal. I'm going to ask you what the price is without going over, because Price is Right rules are in effect. If you go over, you lose. We have fabulous prizes and gifts. This Sbarro price bundle includes 1 slice of pizza, 1 individual stromboli, and 1 fountain drink Pepsi of your choice, or Starry. Okay. What is that? This is from Palisades Mall in Nyack, New York. This does not include tax or tip. What is the Sbarro pizza bundle deal price? Chris, care to guess?
$11.99.
$11.99. Locking in. Final answer.
All right,
Jimbo?
I was thinking Mr. Herman Cain. $9.99. $9.99.
$9.99. I got to tell you, we got a winner with a chicken dinner. Chris Tomasso, the guys, he went from 55 to the 5. Don't you think he knows the price of a bundle?
I think he should win.
$14.29. He gets his $12. He'll fight it out. $14.29.
Wow. All right, I'm way off.
I mean, this guy, come on, you're not going to beat him, Jimmy. Guy has to know his competitor. I don't know what all these prices are.
All right, listen. At the top of the show, we gave you 3 factoids about our friend Chris. 2 were true, 1 less true. Quick recap. Fact 1, Chris was listed in People Magazine's 50 Most Beautiful People issue. Fact 2, Chris once gave away the original Beatles Magic Mystery Tour. Magic Mystery Tour bus. Fact 3, Chris was once the master of ceremony at New York City's New Year's Eve Times Square ball drop and officially pressed the button to start the ball. Shatsy, play.
I think we know the New York Times, the New Year's Eve in Times Square is true.
I know you're going that way, but by the way, like maybe
millions and millions of dollars.
On
Got in a fight with Keith Richards.
Maybe he didn't press the button like this. You don't pay attention to the words.
Believe me, you're not paying all that money. You're not pressing the button. That's the contract.
Okay.
Not paying all that money. Of course, that one's true.
Okay.
Listen, I think that he's one of the most handsome men I've ever seen. Okay? And I'm completely heterosexual, but I'm just saying. But I don't think he was in the People's Magazine's 50 Most Beautiful People.
All right.
I think that he gave away the Beatles Magical Mystery Tour bus because he was traveling all over the world during the Hard Rock, so I could see him doing that, you know?
All right. You know what? I rarely play.
Chris, don't get mad at me,
I rarely play. I let you play because that way, if you're wrong, I can make fun of you. I'm going to play now.
Okay.
He was in the 50 Most Beautiful People issue. I think he gave away the Magical Mystery Tour bus, and I don't think he pressed the button.
Oh, he didn't push the button?
That's mine. So I said that's
so you're going,
hold on. Let's let Chris play. Play.
So you
Chris,
split hairs
hold on,
here
Chris.
now.
I said not 3. So, Chris, what's the answer, sir?
One of you got it exactly correct.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Congratulations, Jimmy.
That is...
You want quick explanations?
I want to hear the stories now.
Okay. I'll start with the 50 Most Beautiful People issue.
Yep.
I wasn't named as one of the 50 Most Beautiful People, but I was in the magazine because our spat with Keith Richards made it to People Magazine, and it happened to be.
Come on, man! I mean, this is. You split. He was in the back in the blurb. You were like the blurb.
Words matter, Shatsy. In the issue.
All right.
It's the one with Julia Roberts on the
and the
cover.
Magical Mystery Tour.
So the Magical Mystery Tour bus for Hard Rock's 30th anniversary, we did this huge raffle where we completely remodeled the Beatles Magical Mystery Tour bus and did a worldwide raffle. And we took it all over the country to be on the news, and then gave it away in London to a lucky winner. And they chose the cash prize instead, which was a great win for Hard Rock at the time. But yeah, we had the bus and put it on tour, and then gave it away.
So I was right.
No, you were wrong. And then
I was right on that. I said I was right.
You win the game if you get the two truths and he gets one. And the third one, because clearly Hard Rock was very involved with New Year's Eve.
Do you know I've never been in Times Square for a New Year's Eve ever in my life? So.
There you go.
All right, well, you know what, Chris?
There you go.
Coming into this thing, I really had an open mind.
I like that head fake.
Well, I liked you, and I'm the guy telling you how good looking you are. You're tricking me, is what you're doing here.
Words
I
matter.
won't forget your kind words. I promise.
All right. And tell your wife I said that too, by the way.
I will.
All right. So
Trust
anyway,
me.
so I was wrong, I guess. I still feel like I got a lot
You're
right.
so deflated. But Shatsy, this podcast world-leading #1 section's coming up.
You with the words matter. I mean,
Words
the
matter.
the 50 most beautiful b-boy issue. That's always like a blurb in the back. I mean, honestly.
Richard story.
All right, listen, let's go by. I'm going to get over it, okay? Because the guy's a rock star. So listen, let's go into a little quick fire, all right, Chris? We got to get you out of here on time. You got like another 500 restaurants to open and not very long to do it. If you could have dinner with anyone in the world, dead or alive, who would it be?
Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase?
Nice one.
I like it. What's the most used app on your phone?
Not counting a search app or Twitter, I would say Delta.
Delta.
Delta is ready when you are. I like it. What's your favorite Halloween costume?
Only because it just conjures up great memories for me of making these out of boxes. The robot, where you just get a
the
box,
old
cover
robot.
it in foil, and poke holes in it and walk around.
It was easy. Maybe a little tinfoil.
Exactly. That's all it took.
What's your Uber rating right now, Chris?
So I just looked that up recently, and I'm a little disappointed to see that it's a 4.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear.
7.
What is it?
4.87. I don't know why.
Still
it's not
higher than me.
Yes.
I'm a 4.76. Why am I
Yeah.
so low? What are you doing, Chris?
I don't know what's going on. I really thought I deserved
You thought you'd be
5.
higher?
Yeah.
Jimmy, what are you?
I'd have to check. I'm higher than you.
Check. What are you
All right.
doing here? I mean, why would
All right,
check?
that's
I mean,
I've never vomited in an Uber. I've never said anything mean to an Uber driver. I don't understand.
Do you tip? Do you give big tips? Are you a big tipper?
I give reasonable tips. Yeah.
You tip. I never
Yeah.
tip. I just
now
pay
you
what
know.
they ask. That's
Now
why
you
I'm
know.
low.
4.86. So of the three of us playing today, Chris is at 4.87. He's the winner.
Yeah.
I'm a 4.86. And Shant, I'm surprised you're not lower. Actually, I got to tell you, I'm surprised. Surprised you're not lower. Surprised.
You know, I got to tell you, that's good. Thank you, Jimmy. If you were to challenge Jimmy or I to a game of pinball, who do you have better odds of beating?
I mean, honestly, neither of you have a chance. I have a Sopranos pinball machine in my house.
Oh, the Sopranos pinball machine?
Oh,
Is
it's
that like
the
a
best.
Bally's or Williams? Whose is that?
Yeah, that one is I think it's a Bally's. It's
Man, the
tremendous.
Sopranos. That's got to be freaking awesome.
You guys will appreciate this. It's got a cussing setting. You can have it cuss or not cuss when you do things on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there's no chance of beating you in pinball.
None chance.
I don't think
Do you
so.
hold the ball with the flipper and wait,
Oh, yeah.
and then wait for your
Yeah.
shot and angle it?
Absolutely.
No, you're like professional.
I think
Yeah.
Chris might be able to beat us blindfolded.
Yeah, my favorite pinball was the
Who for me?
no, it was the not the Munsters, the other one.
Adam's Family.
The Adams Family. That's a
Yeah.
right? That's a
Yeah.
famous one. I never saw
Yeah.
the Sopranos one, but that's got to be
Oh.
crazy good.
Yeah, you get the ball up in the Stugatz. You go to the bada bing with the ball. You go all over the
Bottom,
place.
you go to. Is that in the basement or is that like in the living room?
It's in the workout room.
I wonder where your wife made you put it because you probably wanted it in the
Yeah.
den or the kid, right in
Yeah.
the living room or the dining room.
Master bedroom. She would let me. So
right next to the bed.
yeah, it's out of sight. I'll put it that way. And I have to turn the volume
I love it.
down.
I love it. I got to tell you, I love it. Well, I got to tell you, this was really just absolutely fantastic having you on. I'm going to play because this is what I think of you. Right? Because he's the champion. He's the champion. Am I right?
You're bringing music of my favorite filmography.
Chris Tomasso is the greatest guest on the Hospitality Hang. Am I
I'm
right,
gonna go
Jimmy?
run
It was a
some
really
stairs.
fun episode, and it was really, I love the three factoids. I thought that was, when I read it up front, I thought that was really fun. Listen,
Wait,
Chris,
is that what I got wrong? That wasn't fun at all. It was horrible. It was the worst part of the whole
It was
podcast.
fun for me because I won.
Well, I got to be honest. It just seems to me that there's trickery going on here.
Not trickery.
It's trickery.
All right, listen.
I don't like it.
Listen, Chris, I want to thank you so much for joining us today, for sharing all your insights, and really the great run that you and your team at First Watch are having, and we can't wait to see.
When are you coming to New York?
Working on it.
Oh, my God, that would be fun.
Is First Watch coming to New York?
Yeah, we're in New
Yes.
Jersey now. We'll
Where-
make our
where's
way
one in
there.
this- There's no one
No,
in the
there's
city.
one in Jersey.
Oh, in
Yeah, we have a
Jersey.
couple
Where?
in Jersey, yeah.
He says he's working on New York.
Oh, New York.
Union, Morris Plains.
Oh, in Union, well, like Route 22?
Yeah.
Is that a good market?
It has been, yeah. We unfortunately opened there right before COVID, so we got off to a slow start, but it's been growing really nicely.
So is New York City in the crosshairs?
Yeah, I mean, we've announced that we think we can have 2,200 restaurants in the U.S. The contiguous
Wow.
48, and New York's a big part of that.
Wait a minute. I gotta put something on here. Hang on, Jimmy. We were about to let you go, but I can't let
Yeah.
you go until we put this on because I can't find it though, Jimmy. I can't find it. We got breaking news right
You
now.
have to put something on, but you can't find it.
Yeah, but talk, Jimmy, talk. Use
right.
some time here because I got.
Well, should I continue to thank Chris for?
Yeah,
or
thank him.
Well, what I was going to say is, if you want to get in touch with Chris directly, you could email the podcast team at podcast.
Jimmy, this is just coming in. This is just coming in on the wires.
Yes.
Chris Tomasso, CEO of First Watch, has just announced he will have 2,600 restaurants within 36 months. That is breaking news. Unbelievable. Thank you. Now, Jimmy, now you can thank him.
CNBC appreciates you, Shatsy. If you want to get in touch with Chris directly, you can't get in touch with him directly, but you can email the podcast team, podcast@brandedstrategic.com. We'd be happy to make the introduction, or you can find more about First Watch at firstwatch.com. Very simple URL. And Chris, I just really want to thank you for joining us, for sharing some great insights, and wishing you continued success with your great company. And I'll pass it back to my boy Shatsy to close us out.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Chris. This was awesome. And thanks all our listeners out there. Listen, by the way, you can check us out at Hospitality Hangout at YouTube. Check us out. Hospitality Headline. I got to tell you, Chris, do you get the newsletter every Saturday morning?
I do.
Saturday morning, Hospitality
After I'm
Headline.
up.
Sorry.
Avid reader. No, don't say you're sorry. It's a great newsletter. It's a great read. 6 a.m. Chris is up. He's at the store. He gets up. He goes to the store. Right? Which store do you go to in the morning?
I surprise him. I bounce around.
You bounce around. I love it. He goes in there. He reads the headline. This was great. Go to firstwatch.com, everybody. Check it out. I got to tell you, look for them in your neighborhood. They are doing some great things. Thank you, Chris Tomasso, and thank you for everyone for listening. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.